and I am excited to be here with y'all on this beautiful Tuesday afternoon in September, baby. It is that time, it is that season for grace and for favor. You know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm talking about. But I love doing Q&A on Tuesdays because you guys are coming off of the weekend. Many of you may have had dance competitions, or you've had other events or performances that you did over the weekend. Sometimes people want me to review their choreography or review their routines. They may have a competition coming up in the next few days. It could be anything. And so I'm always, here to help. I don't know what it is about this being my mission that God has me on, but for some reason I just keep coming back to teaching dance teachers how to start, scale, and grow their dance business. And so I don't take it lightly, and I hope that you guys don't either, because I know how I was when I was, especially starting out. I just kind of jumped out the window with my dance studio. Let me just give you a little bit of background about me. So I have been dancing since I was 4 or 5 years old. I came up right here in Atlanta, Georgia, through Bell Ethnic Dance Academy. I did the Nutcracker. I did all of that kind of stuff. My first dance teacher at the recreational center though was Miss D, and then Nina, who is still alive and still dancing. Nina Gilreath Lucas and Waverly Lucas of Bell Ethnic. They trained me into being the poise and confidence ballerina that I became. And then I took those skills and those moves. I cheered for several years. I danced on the high school dance team. I was the captain. I went to college. I danced on FAMU Mahogany Dance Theater, where I was the vice president. So your girl been dancing for a long time. And then I opened my dance studio in 2009. I had that for about 8 years before life happens sometimes and you have to transition. And that's really what happened. I transitioned, and I ended up coming home because of life reasons. And, maybe one day we'll have that conversation too, because some of you guys may be going through the same, something similar to what I went through. But, it's just, I judged competitions. I have put on shows. I put on fashion shows, hair shows, like major ones with, Milky Way and some of the biggest, hair suppliers in the United States, doing choreography and dance and everything for them. My dancers have competed and won competitions from everywhere to Florida, Georgia, Las Vegas, and Alabama, and Louisiana, a couple places in between. So, if anything, I know what I'm talking about. After that, all of those, my dance studio, and I came back to Atlanta. I was the coach at Tucker High School for the dance team, for the Golden Dynasty dance team. So, I did coach high school for a couple years, as well as I coached high school, and then I started teaching dance at Atlanta Public Schools. And so, because I taught at all of these other facets of dance, it was almost a no-brainer for me to be getting into dance in an educational aspect. And so I taught dance in the public schools. So I have the public school sector, I have the private dance studio sector, I have the high school experience, and I have the recreational experience. So if it's anybody who knows how to teach somebody about dance, it is me. And I want to help people who want to grow in whatever aspect of the business that it is that you may have. Let me check. Let's see. So yeah, I feel like, let me see. Here's at a better angle. There we go. And so, I don't know why it's my calling to be, this person for these black dance studio owners and these black studios. But I remember I went to a dance conference, and out of all of those couple thousand people, it was maybe five black people, maybe 10 of us. in the whole conference. And I was just looking at the knowledge and the information that the ladies were passing to each other. And I was like, wow, we don't have anything like this. Like maybe it's my purpose, maybe it's my um duty to take what I learned from these events and how to run a business and bring it to my people. And so that's why, I feel like there is an opportunity for all of us to learn. There's an opportunity for all of us to grow. And there's an opportunity for all of us to really scale our businesses to really becoming six-figure dance studios. It sounds like a lot, but $10,000 a month it sounds like a lot, but it's really not. It sounds like it's hard to do, but it's really not that hard to do. Think about this without dancing just by renting your studio space out. So don't think that because the number is bigger than what you can and you can fathom that you can't do it, because you really can. You just have to think about ways that you can monetize what you have and the access to the things that you have. So if you do have a building, you can rent that space out. If you don't have a building, maybe you can do a performance. Somebody might pay you $500 um to perform. You do a couple of those in a month, hey, you're bringing in the dough and you're getting publicity from people putting you out there in front of their audience. And so one of the things I talk about in the Dance Studio Academy is building a community around your studio or around your team. People think that the community is just the parents when it's not. It's not just the parents, it's not just the siblings. The community is the aunts and uncles, the schools in the area, the dentist offices, the doctor's offices, the local politicians, the people who can give you opportunities that you would not necessarily expect. So when I say you can do a performance and get paid $500 here, you can get paid a performance and get paid $5,000 if you performing at the right place. But you have to put yourself in position to be around the type of people who can give you those type of donations or contributions or payments for you and your talent. So don't think because a number is too big for you to fathom that it can't happen, because it really can. To think about, because really mindset is one of the things I should have focused on first, is really wrapping your mind around the fact that God gave you this talent and this gift for a reason. He gave you this vision for a reason. And so it's up to you to be able to utilize it, because if you don't, then God forbid, people are looking for you and you don't have the service to provide because you're too afraid to do it, or you're too afraid to monetize it. you know if you are out here and you're dancing and you have all of this stuff on your phone, why are you not posting it and being monetized off of on TikTok? Put it on YouTube. But when you put it out there, tag the different companies and different brands. That way, when it's time for them to shoot a commercial, they have somebody that they can find. When it's time for them to do a print ad for the dental office or the doctor's office, they have somewhere that they can um, get the information. I mean, they have somewhere that they can go and they can reach a number of dancers because you've been in community with them. And so when you're in community with them, you have endless opportunities, because now they're going to put you onto their people, and then they're going to put you onto their people, and so on and so forth. So I do this Q&A because I really want to hear from you guys and want to know what you are experiencing, what city you're from. If you could drop what city you're from in the comments, because I noticed that my reach is in this Georgia, Louisiana, Alabama area. But I want to know what's going on at your studio or with your team. Is it the lack of dancers? Is it the lack of parent participation? Is it the lack of finances? Maybe you have ideas that you just don't know how to get out of your head and how to put it on paper. There's so many things that you're going through as a coach that the average person wouldn't get. I remember my mama called this shit a glorified hobby one time, and I got so mad because I put so much blood, sweat, and tears in it for somebody to call it a hobby, but I wasn't getting paid for it. And so I had to come up with ways to get paid for it so they wouldn't be talking crazy about running my business. And so I want to do the same thing for you. I want you to get out of your head and have a space where you can talk to not just me, but you have other coaches that you can lean on, that you can talk to, that can share information with, and we'll be able to build a community amongst each other, because we're not in the same cities. We're not in the same areas. There's people in Atlanta that is not on my side of town. So what do I care that their marketing is to a certain degree, you know, better than mine? My people not going on their side of town, so it really doesn't matter. Okay. So, you have to really think about things like that. What are you putting out there in order to draw people in? What are you doing to market yourself? What are you doing to market your studio? I just gave you some examples of ways to build a community to market your business and put you on a bigger scale or a bigger screen. I remember that my dancers got invited to be in a mayoral campaign. So when it came time for them to shoot the commercial, my girls were the first people they called because I had built the relationship with the lady who was running for mayor at that time. I built a relationship with her. She ended up winning. And then when she was time for her to run again, she called my studio again. We were all on her ass, giving me credibility, my studio credibility. My girls get to see themselves on commercials, on posters and signs for the mayor's office, and it's just drawing people in to my business. So think about the things that you're doing to market yourself. Let's see. I'm not real good with this YouTube stuff yet, but I'm gonna get it together. All right. So anyway, let me jump into my inbox so I can get you guys some information that I know you would love to use. And so let's talk about it. All right. So first question. Usually I like for people to come I usually like for people to come on live and to do the Q&A with me, so they can ask questions and I can answer them in real time, because I can give you all of the sauce and the drip that you want, but if it doesn't really pertain to you, it's not going to matter in those moments. So, yeah. All right. So, first question. Hold on. I'm sorry. I don't know how to really. Okay. Wait. Okay. Hold on. All right. So, I'm sorry, my computer won't start acting all weird once I get live. All right, so first question. All right, Miss B. I'm new into the dance industry and I am trying to get into my own studio space. What do I need to do in order? What does it say? What do I need to do in order to get some type of business funding? All right, so that's a good question. Business funding. All right, let's talk about it. All right, business funding. So the first thing you need to do when you are trying to get business funding, if you are a brand new business, is to get a location or get you a virtual address. Because if you get you an address, now you have a reference point. So get an address, whether it's virtual address or a real live location, and then you are going to make sure you are registered with the IRS with that address. You're going to register with your state with that address. You are going to get a telephone number for that address. You are going to go ahead and register on Google at that address. You're going to go ahead and register on Yelp or whatever else on that address, okay? So you're going to get those things together while you're getting your business bank account established, okay? What I want you to do is, if you're working, and I don't know if this coach is a working woman or not, but while you're working, get portion of your paycheck, and you just got to bite the bullet at first. Get a portion of your paycheck to go into your business bank account. You want to do that for at least 3 months to show some type of revenue being generated. If you are not a working woman and you are just a solopreneur, a hustler, entrepreneur, whatever payments that you're getting paid, stop getting them in your personal account, get them in your business bank account. Because when it's time for you to go and apply for business credit, they're going to want to see what type of money that you're bringing in every month. Okay. And so if you have your money coming in every 3 months or so, now you look better to the banks in order for them to be able to give you a loan or a line of credit. All right. So once you get all of those things established, the first thing, of course, is getting your name, your location, registering with the state that you live in if you have to do that, registering on Google, getting that telephone number. Now you look like a real business. Okay, go ahead, get your flyers and everything done so you can have somewhere to market. Even if you don't get them printed off, you can just use virtual flyers. Everybody's on social media, so go ahead and post it on social media, and that way you can get all of those people to come in, and now they are looking for you and looking for your studio. Now, her question was, how do I go about finding a location? So you got your funding. Once you start applying for that funding within those 90 days or so, the 3 months, once you start applying for funding, now you have everything already established. You should be generating some revenue, and now you can go and ask them for a couple $1,000s, whether it's 10,000, 20,000, hell, it might be 150,000, depending on how your credit is. You want to be building your personal credit as well as building your business credit. In order to build both of those simultaneously, you need to make sure that whatever's on your personal credit, go ahead and get it taken off, because since you're a newly established business, they are going to pull your credit report. Now, a lot of these YouTube people be like, "Oh, you can do it with no PG." Yeah, no, you don't have to do a personal guarantor if your credit is good. But if your credit is not good, they're going to want something. They're going to want some type of collateral. They're going to want some type of something. So make sure that you have all of these things in order for you to be able to even apply for the business funding. Also, with that business funding, you want to make sure you have some net 30 accounts, whether it's for gas cards. I know y'all have heard of Uline and Granger and all of the places like that. Go ahead, get those set up. You need at least three of those. So what I would do to structure it, coach, is I would say, all right, let me get my business situated first. I got my name. Make sure you go on name finder and make sure ain't nobody got your name, because people run into that all the time. I've seen 1,000 dazzling diamonds, dazzling divas, all of that, all of those things. I've seen 1,000 of them. So don't get caught up in a situation where your name doesn't belong to you. Okay. And then let me just give a side note about names. Register the name that you want to stick with. Register the name that you want branded. Register the name that you want to be your website. Register the name that you are committed to. because you can't go switching all these names up. Y'all ever seen an apartment complex be like under new management? They just switching the name up for tax purposes. Now that's a different story for a different day. But just make sure don't nobody have your name because I don't know if you guys remember the dancing dolls from Southern University versus the fabulous dancing the DD4L dancing dolls versus the Southern University dancing dolls, the fabulous dancing dolls. So they literally have to say every time the fabulous dancing dolls because Diana has trademarked dancing dolls and they can't use it. Okay, which is genius to me. So kudos to her. All right, so you got your name, you got your address, your virtual address, your location, whatever you got. You got that. You got everything registered with the government. You got everything registered with the state. You got that business bank account situated. You got your business credit being built with NAV, with some type of gas card or with some type of Uline or Granger, Printful. They have different Net 30 accounts that you can get. And now you're building business credit all while your personal credit is growing. Then you can go, like I said, and ask the banks for 10, 15, 20, 100,000, 150,000. Some of them will give you 300, $400,000, depending on how good you look on paper. But, and this is a big but, and a lot of y'all got a big ass but. Y'all shit ain't together. Y'all just bouncing around to competitions, bouncing around to these break centers. You don't have anything established. You just running something. And people are paying you, and you don't want to get in trouble with insurance purposes and all of that kind of stuff because you haven't properly structured what you need to have structured. um so I need y'all to stop what you're doing at this moment. Go register